Hi traders, 20th of February 2019. I thought I'd re-record the installation video for the daily, weekly and monthly pivots system. When you purchase the systems from AlgoTrader, you'll be sent an email which will have a username and password, and you can use those details to log into the license management area, which you can see here. The installers are basically set out with standard or legacy installers which don't have the Java interface, and the hybrid JFX installers which use a Java interface. So we're going to install our JFX pivot series here. So we just click on the little man with the spanner, and then that will download the package, and that's a zip file, so you can open that when it's done. And it's opened up a window over here, so I'm just going to move that over, double click on it, and the installer will want to run now. And I'm just getting an AVG virus check going on, so just wait for that to complete before I continue. So that's fine, and close the little AVG window, and then we can carry on with the installation. Read the license agreement, accept that, and all you need to do is just enter the MT4 data folder. So to find that, you just go to MT4, go File, Open Data Folder, and then I think in the old video I navigated to it manually, but all you need to do is just right click in the text field up here and copy address as text, and then go back into the installer and then just delete whatever's in there, and then hit Control V or just right click in that area and paste that address in there. Click next, click yes, click install. And if you get any errors to do with DLL files not being able to load, just close MT4, retry the installation, and that will finish that. And then we just load up the FXCM MetaTrader installation again, and just go to a chart. If you then open up your indicators folder, then go down to Fs, you'll see FXA, and then you'll see the various different pivot systems. So there's daily pivots version 3, then there's a weekly and also a monthly pivot system. So in order to load those indicators, if you just drag the daily pivots version onto the chart, and you'll see this no JFX interface loaded. So you go to the MT4 data folder, open that up, and then just run a program called FXA JFX interface.jar. Ensure you have Java loaded on your machine first. That's imperative. That will come up with your login screen. So enter your unique reference number and ID, which is the same as the one you use to access the license management area. Click customer login, and you'll see a product catalog come up, and you move that wherever you want to. And if you go to pivot products, select the JFX pivot system, and an interface will pop up when that loads, which looks like this, and you can then resize that accordingly. And if we just scale out onto a hourly chart, you can now see you've got your daily pivots loaded on there. If you wanted to load up the weekly pivot system, that's fine. So you go down to FXA weekly pivots version 3 JFX, load that on your chart, and you can see your data coming up there. Then if you want to control those parameters on the weekly pivots, to do that, just go to weekly pivots, and it will load up your interface, and you can now control all those parameters. So if you wanted to change the last week's high text to, I'll just say last week's high text, hit enter, and then you can see that changes just been rippled through directly from the interface to MT4. Same thing goes for monthly pivots. You've got completely granular alert capabilities on all the different pivot systems here. So this is by far the most accurate and configurable pivot system on the market. You've got the ability to shift the calculation basis, so you can synchronize your pivot calculations to coincide with different trading start times or different trading areas in the world. So if you want to pick up the Frankfurt Open, the London Open and the New York Open, you can shift your pivot calculation to match the same levels as the traders in those areas are looking at, which is quite important. So using pivot shifts is how you achieve that. There aren't many programs on the market which will allow you to do that, and certainly the completely independent multi-pivot alert levels are again a unique feature of the system. And obviously the biggest difference compared to all the other systems out there is the Java interface which we use, which allows you to access a whole range of parameters, as you can see here, which if you were using a standard MetaTrader indicator would just be a bewildering array of external input parameters, which would it's very tricky to configure. So that's why we developed the Java interface version, so that it allows traders far more flexibility and granularity, and the ability to just easily understand what you're changing and see those changes rippled through on the charts. There's a whole load of extra added value with Java tools. I mean, I can use the same interface to control multiple different indicators in MT4. So if I've got the pivot system loaded on multiple charts, I don't need to keep opening up external input parameters for each independently loaded indicator. There you go. That's how you install it, and that's how you configure it, and that's hopefully a bit of an improvement on the last video.